Hey booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. Trying to coax Blue into the video. He's not interested, but he's my hero today. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning and he stayed with me all morning long, on and off, and he's been a very, very sweet cat today. So I am not feeling so great. So my throat's actually been hurting for about 6 weeks. It's been sore. So I finally decided I should go to the doctor, and what does the medical professional tell me? I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm just like, okay. I just basically feel like I'm about to lose my voice with every sentence. So I'm going to keep this one short, although it should be much longer. This week, to my complete amazement, I finished Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Now, I have this annotated edition, but we also own just a regular hardcover of Mrs. Dalloway. The annotated edition did spoil the emotional climax, I guess, if you will, of the end. And that was kind of a bummer. Kind of disappointing, but I read this with Joe Smith and Kelly Hunsaker, who has a Bookstagram channel. It feels like you should read Mrs. Dalloway either in a day or over several months. Like, I'm not sure what the right strategy is. I don't even know how to really tell you what this book is about yet. So I'm still kind of processing things, and my buddy readers and I are still communicating about this book and the next book that we're going to read together, which I will talk about in a future video. But yeah, Mrs. Dalloway, I will say, the only other thing I've read by Virginia Woolf is A Room of One's Own. And just very different, it's nonfiction. To me, it feels much more straightforward. Whereas Mrs. Dalloway is not only stream of consciousness, but the stream of consciousness between a whole slew of people. So you're in one person's mind in one moment, and then you're in someone else's mind the next paragraph, and then you might go back. But there were things collectively that we saw together. I joked with them that my only contribution was the annotations in this book. And there are just some really beautiful paintings, and but it is very, very spoilery. This is the woman that was based, Mrs. Dalloway is based on. She was a friend of Virginia Woolf's. And anyway, I did learn a lot more about Virginia Woolf, which was really interesting as well by reading this edition. I'm gonna go back and pick up where I left off when they spoiled the entire ending of the book, and read the introduction to it. But yeah, so I would say if you've never read Mrs. Dalloway and you don't know much about it, the annotated edition is probably not the best place to start, which many of you told me, and I appreciate that, but my husband did buy it for me. so I did want to, and like I didn't know that there were going to be spoilers. There's no warning or anything like that. So and I think in general with classics, people think like, oh, everybody knows what happens, so anyway, I just my heart goes out to my buddy readers who really helped me read this and mind it, although like we all agree we need to reread it. I think Kelly might read it again this year. I'm not gonna be doing that, but that's okay. So yeah, this has been kind of what's been consuming me. What a book. The writing is so beautiful. I will definitely say that even on a first read, the writing is just superb. Like, and because it's stream of consciousness, I think sometimes we think, oh, like I just sat down and just like just one of us writing stream of consciousness. But I mean, she edited, she refined. There's things in different, sentences in different editions, which I don't really fully understand why that's happened. But yeah, so I mean, there are parts of this where you see what her initial paragraph was and things that are crossed off and stuff like that. So anyway, so we will return to Virginia Woolf, definitely. We do own, it looks like, at least 4 more books by her. So that's exciting, and it's just exciting to finally read this. And unfortunately, I just have so many other things going on in life that I just didn't really feel like I was mentally in the right place to read this book at this time. If I had been reading this on my own, I know for sure I would have set it down. I would have come back to it later, but I think you need a certain amount of emotional resilience when you're reading this book. And that's just my 2 cents. I did enjoy it. I'll probably give it 4 stars on Goodreads. It's probably a 5-star book. but for the first read, it was, yeah. And I like, it's really interesting because there were times where I was like, why on earth did we decide to buddy read something that's stream of consciousness? And we all have different editions. So that was kind of a challenge in some ways, although Voxer really helped us out a lot. Like, somebody would take a picture of like, this is the next break in the book. And then I just would like comb through the pages looking for that. But at the same time, by reading a stream of consciousness novel with other people, I think that was really beneficial. That was really helpful, to kind of, we all just saw like repeating themes, but different ones. And so, somebody would bring up something and yeah, it would, the other 2 people would be like, oh, like I had not noticed that. So anyway, it's an incredible piece of fiction, and I do look forward to rereading it just when like maybe things are just a little bit calmer in my life. Like I said, not this year, but definitely want to read some more Virginia Woolf for sure. The other book I've been reading for what I am calling, come on people, April. But People April, which is hosted by Elisabeth at Bouquins and Books and Roz at Skelly Dandelion about the books. And I have been reading Soul of the Age, a biography of the mind of William Shakespeare by Jonathan Bate. So this is on my high priority, well, Mrs. Dalloway and this are my high priority TBR for the year. Unfortunately, I am on page 52, so definitely gonna spend a lot more time in this in the week ahead, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know if I can have this done by the end of April, but I'm gonna try. It's really good. I mean, like I said, I've only read, 52 pages or whatever. It's excellent. It's fascinating. It's fascinating about, people living in rural England and people living in urban England, and what kind of knowledge would they have had. And, he's not necessarily like trying to make the case that Shakespeare was Shakespeare, but just talking about terms that are from where we think Shakespeare was born and grew up, that are unique to that part of the country. So I really like it. It goes, I mean, it's not a chronological biography by any means, but it's really well done. So I do want to get to this. I do want to finish this. And then of course I still have my other two books that I picked for April. It seems unlikely I will get through both of them this month, but that's okay. That is okay. It's not a contest, right? So I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna read in addition to Soul of the Age, but I do have another Come On People April book, which is The Oregon Trail by Rinker Buck. I really want to read this so that hopefully when the weather is better, it's supposed to snow on Friday. So anyway, but I want to go to some of these places, and I'm hoping I can get some museum officials maybe even to talk to me about the Oregon Trail and things like that. So I want to have, my ambitions for the review of that book are quite large. And then the other one, Erin, just for you, I'm going to show it again, The Time Traveler's Wife, which I feel like I probably could read faster, and I just kind of want to get it over with, right? Like it's been hanging over my head all last year and this year, and I just want to know, like, do I still like this book? Does this book still have the same draw for me that it once did? Because over time, our reading tastes change. 20 years later, is this book still going to be what I think it is? And like I said, part of me just wants to read it and just decide, like, and maybe it'll be really wonderful. Like, maybe I'll still really enjoy it. I actually do remember a fair amount about the book, but which, yeah, I mean, because this is well before I had wonderful people like you to talk to about books. I'm just not sure. Like I said, I just want to know, like, is this just taking up space on my bookshelves that something else exciting could take up? And yeah, so anyway, we'll see what paths, what journey reading takes, and I will keep you posted. Booktube, thank you so much for your kindness, not only for myself, but for my husband, Jason. He tells me he's doing better. I hope that's right. I hope that's true. So his cough is just, man, wicked. It's like shards of glass breaking in your lungs. It sounds awful. But anyway, so thank you all so much for your kind thoughts and words for him. I do really appreciate it. I would love to hear from you. What are you reading this weekend? How are you finishing up? Like, are you participating in People April? What has been a great read in that? Or are you winding some stuff down, that sort of thing? Yeah, so I would just love to hear what's going on with you, what you're reading and enjoying, or maybe DNFing, I don't know. Please leave a comment in the comment section. I love hearing from you. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, that's fine. Leave an emoji. You can leave like for Mrs. Dalloway. So the emoji for this video will be a bouquet of flowers or something flower related. So, and also Joe and Kelly, I hope, will leave comments about what they thought about Mrs. Dalloway. So again, really, really brilliant book. Just maybe a little above my head at the moment, at this particular time in my life. So Anyway, booktube. And then if you still don't feel comfortable leaving anything in the comment section, you can always give this video a thumbs up as just a way of saying hi. I do appreciate it. So thanks so much, booktube. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And booktube, I will be back soon with another video. I'll talk to you then. Bye.